The Springboks may have surprised many rugby fans with their bold team selection for the clash against Wales, but one of the greatest coaches in rugby history believes there is nothing shocking about it. In fact, according to legendary former All Blacks head coach Sir Steve Hansen, this is exactly what successful teams should be doing when they have confidence in their systems. As South Africa prepares to hand exciting young fly half Vusi Moyo his long-awaited Test debut, all eyes will be on whether the teenager can live up to the enormous expectations surrounding him. But if you ask Sir Steve Hansen, the answer is simple: talent has no age limit, and if a player is good enough, then he deserves the opportunity. The Springboks have built a reputation for producing world-class players year after year, and Rassie Erasmus appears determined to ensure that production line never slows down. Instead of relying solely on experienced World Cup winners, the Springbok coach continues to introduce promising youngsters into a winning environment, allowing them to develop alongside some of the game's biggest stars. That philosophy is once again on full display with the selection of Vusi Moyo, who only recently represented the junior Springboks and is still eligible to play at under-20 level. Yet despite his age and limited senior experience, he has earned the trust of the national coaching staff after impressing during the July internationals, including his appearance against the Barbarians. Sir Steve Hansen believes there is absolutely no reason to hesitate. Speaking on the Rugby Unity podcast, the World Cup winning coach explained that age should never be the deciding factor when selecting international players. According to him, South Africa's youth structures have consistently produced exceptional talent through the World Rugby Under-20 Championship, and Vusi Moyo is simply the latest example of that success. Hansen pointed out that the Springboks are giving the youngster every possible advantage to succeed. Rather than throwing him into a struggling side, Rassie Erasmus has surrounded him with experienced leaders who know exactly how to guide a new playmaker through the pressures of Test rugby. Cobus Reynek will provide calm direction at scrum half, while the proven midfield partnership of Damien de Oyende and Jesse Creel offers stability, communication, and world-class decision-making outside him. That experienced core, according to Hansen, creates the perfect environment for a young fly half to express himself without carrying the entire burden of leading the team. Hansen also dismissed any suggestion that the selection was reckless. He believes South Africa rightly feels confident in its ability to beat Wales while simultaneously investing in the future. Why wait until injuries force inexperienced players into difficult situations when they can gain valuable Test experience now? It's a philosophy that has become one of Rassie Erasmus' greatest strengths since returning as Springbok head coach. Rather than making wholesale changes all at once, Erasmus carefully introduces fresh talent around an established group of proven internationals. That approach has allowed South Africa to remain one of the strongest teams in world rugby while continuously refreshing the squad with the next generation of stars. Former Wallabies coach Ewan McKenzie, who joined Hansen on the podcast, completely agreed with that assessment. He praised Erasmus for consistently experimenting around the edges while keeping the heart of the team intact. According to McKenzie, the Springboks always maintain a backbone of experienced World Cup winners capable of controlling matches, while younger players gain confidence by learning alongside them. He highlighted the presence of Damien de Oyende, Jesse Creel, and other senior internationals as the perfect support system for players like Vusi Moyo. Even the replacements bench reflects that strategy, with experienced stars such as Manny Libbok and Damian Willems available if needed, while physical forwards like Marco van Staden provide the trademark Springbok impact later in the game. McKenzie believes this balance between youth and experience is exactly why South Africa continues to stay ahead of many international rivals. Behind the scenes, however, this success is not happening by accident. Much of the credit is now being directed towards South Africa's outstanding development pathway. Since former Melbourne Rebels coach Dave Wessels became SA Rugby's general manager in 2024, working closely with junior Springboks coach Kevin Foote, the country's youth structures have gone from strength to strength. Their work paid off with South Africa winning the 2025 World Rugby Under-20 Championship, and the current junior Springboks are now chasing back-to-back world titles as they prepare to face France in another major final. Those achievements are creating an increasingly impressive conveyor belt of talent ready to step into the senior national team. Players like Riley Norton, Jocko Williams, and now Vusi Moyo have quickly moved from youth internationals to Springbok contenders, demonstrating the remarkable depth that South African rugby now possesses. Hansen praised those structures, suggesting that Rassie Erasmus deserves enormous credit for building depth, but he also emphasized that great coaching becomes much easier when outstanding development systems consistently produce elite young players. That combination of exceptional grassroots coaching, successful junior teams and intelligent senior management has created what many believe is the deepest player pool in world rugby today. While Wales continues to improve under its new coaching direction and arrives determined to challenge the world champions, the Springboks once again appear to have positioned themselves perfectly for both the present and the future. Saturday's match is not simply about winning another test. It represents another opportunity to strengthen a squad that already boasts remarkable quality while giving another talented youngster the chance to become South Africa's next international success story. If Vusi Moyo delivers the performance many are expecting, it will further validate Rassie Erasmus' fearless selection philosophy and reinforce Sir Steve Hansen's belief that when exceptional talent is ready, age becomes completely irrelevant.
The Springboks are once again proving why they remain one of the most feared teams in world rugby, and this time the biggest talking point isn't just about winning matches, it's about building the future. When Rassie Erasmus announced that teenage fly-half Vusi Moyo would make his test debut against Wales, the decision immediately sparked debate across the rugby world. Some questioned whether the youngster was being thrown into international rugby too soon, while others wondered if South Africa was taking an unnecessary risk. But then one of rugby's greatest minds stepped forward with a powerful message that completely changed the conversation. Legendary former All Blacks head coach Sir Steve Hansen, a man who knows exactly what it takes to build championship-winning teams, made it clear that he wasn't surprised by the decision at all. In fact, he believes this bold move perfectly demonstrates why the Springboks continue to stay ahead of the rest of the rugby world. According to Hansen, age should never be the deciding factor in selecting a player. If someone has the talent, the mentality, and the ability to perform at the highest level, then they deserve their opportunity regardless of how old they are. Speaking on the Rugby Unity podcast, the 2015 Rugby World Cup winning coach praised South Africa's incredible player development system and explained why the timing couldn't be better for Vusi Moyo to take this enormous step in his career. Hansen pointed out that South Africa has consistently produced outstanding young players through the World Rugby Under-20 Championship, and every year another wave of elite talent arrives ready to challenge for Springbok selection. In his eyes, Vusi Moyo is simply the latest product of a system that has become the envy of international rugby. Rather than viewing his selection as a gamble, Hansen sees it as a reward for years of preparation and hard work. He also believes the Springboks have carefully created the perfect environment for the young fly-half to succeed. Instead of asking him to carry the pressure alone, Rassie Erasmus has surrounded him with some of the most experienced players in world rugby. Scrum half Cobus Reinach will guide the tempo of the game and relieve pressure whenever necessary. Outside him stands the world-class midfield pairing of Damien de Oyende and Jesse Creel, two Rugby World Cup winners who understand exactly how to protect a young playmaker while allowing him the freedom to showcase his natural skills. Hansen explained that this combination of youth and experience is exactly why the selection makes so much sense. The youngster doesn't need to win the game by himself. He simply needs to trust the players around him and play the rugby that earned him this opportunity in the first place. Hansen also highlighted another important factor that many supporters may have overlooked. The match is being played on South African soil, where the Springboks enjoy the support of passionate home fans and the comfort of familiar surroundings. That home advantage significantly reduces the pressure on a debutant compared to making a first appearance in a hostile away stadium. Hansen admitted that no disrespect was intended toward Wales, but South Africa clearly believes it has enough quality to win the match while simultaneously giving several young players invaluable test experience. In his opinion, if you have confidence in your squad and believe you can achieve both objectives at once, then why wouldn't you take that opportunity? That philosophy perfectly reflects the thinking of Rassie Erasmus, who has spent years carefully building not just a winning team, but a winning system. Rather than waiting until injuries force inexperienced players into difficult situations, Erasmus prefers introducing them gradually alongside proven veterans. It is a strategy that has already delivered enormous success, including Rugby World Cup glory, and now it is producing another generation of Springboks ready to make their mark. Former Wallabies head coach Ewan McKenzie, who joined Hansen during the discussion, completely agreed with that assessment. Mackenzie described Erasmus as a coach who always experiments around the edges without weakening the heart of the team. According to him, the Springboks never abandon their experienced leaders. Instead, they place exciting newcomers around an established core of world champions who understand exactly what international rugby demands. Players like Damien de Oyende, Jesse Creel, and several senior forwards provide leadership, communication, and calmness, allowing young players to settle quickly into the intensity of Test rugby. Mackenzie also pointed toward the strength of South Africa's replacements bench, describing it as another example of Erasmus' outstanding planning. Experienced internationals such as Manny Libbok and Damian Willems remain available if required, while powerful forwards including Marco van Staden ensure the Springboks can maintain their physical dominance throughout the full 80 minutes. That incredible depth has become one of South Africa's greatest competitive advantages. Yet perhaps the most impressive part of the story lies behind the scenes. The emergence of players like Vusi Moyo is no accident. It is the result of years of investment into South African rugby's development pathways. Since former Melbourne Rebels coach Dave Wessels became SA Rugby's general manager in 2024, significant emphasis has been placed on strengthening youth rugby across the country. Working closely with junior Springboks head coach Kevin Foote, Wessels has helped create a development structure capable of consistently producing international quality players. The results have already been extraordinary. South Africa lifted the 2025 World Rugby Under-20 Championship, ending years of frustration and confirming that the country's future is just as bright as its present. Now the junior Springboks stand on the brink of history as they prepare to face France in another Under-20 World Championship final, aiming to become back-to-back world champions for the first time. Those achievements are now directly benefiting the senior Springboks. Players like Riley Norton, Jocko Williams, and Vusi Moyo have moved rapidly from junior internationals into the national squad, demonstrating the incredible trust the coaching staff has in the development system.